Blessed day. So I know I've been MIA for a little bit. Some people have been asking me like what's going on with my videos. And the reason why is that I have been in the process of restoring my deck, which initially didn't turn out to be as involved as I thought it would be, but it has taken a great deal of my time and energy and resources. But that brings me to today's message, and we'll get around to that. So when I started this, I thought, okay, all I need to do is slap some coating over it to protect it. It's getting dried and a little bit warped in some sections. Prepare it, do the prep work, hammer down some extra nails, and get going. But I realized that as I started doing the preparation, that there were a lot more issues than I thought. And the damage was more extensive to the point where I needed to replace some boards, which I had no expectation of initially or no experience with. But thank goodness for my neighbor who came along and was showing me, that I would have to lift up the boards and instructing me how to do it, was asking me where the tools that I would need to do that were to lift up the nails. So he's like, where's your cat's claw? Where's your crowbar? Where's your hammer? And I was like, hammer? Cat's claw, what the heck? And crowbar? So he went into his toolbox and began to show me the process of how to use these tools to bring up the nails so I can bring up the boards, and then the process of how to screw them in to place. So it really got me started thinking about how I needed to upgrade my toolbox. So what happened is I wound up going to the store and purchasing those items that I needed. And then I was able to start this process on my own after he showed me how to do it. And as I was doing it, I really started thinking about how life is just the same way, where sometimes you don't know the tools that are needed for a job until you actually get into it and see that, oh, wait a minute, I thought all I had to do was this, but now I realize I need to upgrade my toolbox in order to continue finishing this job. And with life, it's the same way. I'm realizing that I need to upgrade my own toolbox. There are some things that, for instance, I didn't have a hammer. I knew I needed a hammer at some point, but I had a mallet. So I was like, oh, I can bang down the nails with this mallet, and it kind of halfway got the job done. But I needed a hammer. I didn't have the right tools for this particular job. So up until that point, what I was using was allowing me to do what I needed to do. But here I'd come to a point where I knew I needed to upgrade. In my life, there's places I want to go, things that I want to do, that the things that I had been using, the tools that I had been using up until that point were sufficient. But now I realize that I need to upgrade my toolbox. What are the tools in my life that I kind of been using to get the job done, but they weren't the appropriate tools to get me to where I needed to be for the next level? Some of those things have been looking at my lifestyle habits, my food choices. Am I taking care of my mental wellness? Am I exercising? Am I doing all of the things, all of the tools that will give me the best positioning to be able to move to the level that I want to in my life? So that, in a nutshell, is a parallel. As I was working on one job, I'm thinking about how that rolls over and applies to my life. And I am not just upgrading my physical toolbox to be able to finish my deck, but I'm also looking at ways to upgrade my life's toolbox and assess what tools need to be replaced, what tools need to be upgraded, what tools Some tools may be worn down and need to be retired. So I just wanted to offer that as a brief message to encourage anyone. There is no shame in not having the tools. We don't always know what is needed until we get to that point. But once you realize that you do need those tools, take the ownership and the responsibility for upgrading, for assessing, for replacing old tools so that you can continue to move forward and progress in this life and elevate to where you need to be. That's it. Be well and be blessed.